Hello and welcome to my HTML tutorial. Today I will show you how to make a really simple and cool website. So this here is my website that I've made today. As you can see, it has a little heading here that says welcome to my website. It has a cool little picture of a cool dog. And it has a link to a video on YouTube, which also has a cool dog. So I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to make this website. So first off, we're gonna wanna install Visual Studio Code. So just go to Google and type in VS Code. You should then click on the first link and click download for Windows. But if you don't have a Windows computer, you can click here and download it for Mac OS. So I'm gonna click download for Windows because I have a Windows PC. I'll take you to this site and then it'll let you save the setup. So I'm gonna save it to my desktop and I'm just gonna save it. And then we're waiting for it to download. So now that I've downloaded Visual Studio Code, you'll see the setup here. I click on the setup. And then I choose my language. You could choose whatever language you want, but I want to use English. Click I accept the agreement. Click next. Yeah, I would make a desktop icon, so then just click next and then press install. But since I already have Visual Studio Code installed, I won't be needing to do that. So I'm gonna just open Visual Studio Code real quick. Click cancel and just type VS Code and I'll open it. I think I opened it twice. I'm gonna just close this one. There we go. So when you open Visual Studio Code, you'll get something like this. This is like the main site. This is like the starting point of the Visual Studio Code. So before we start coding, you will need to do a few more things. So just go to the left here and press on extensions. And then up here in the search bar, search for live server. The reason we want live server is because to run our website, we need a web server. So this is basically an application which will run your website as a little server on your local computer. So this is something you'll need. So just press download up here. For me it says disable or uninstall because I already have it installed, but it should say install up here. And you might have to reload or close and open Visual Studio Code after you're done downloading, but that depends. So now go back to the left here and click on Explorer and then choose Open Folder. It'll open a little, it'll open this, and this is where I can choose a little folder where I can save my HTML documents and images and stuff. So I'm gonna go on desktop and I'll click new folder and I'll call it HTML website and tut for tutorial. This might look a little bit different for you if you're on an older version of Windows or on a Linux or Mac OS computer, but it's pretty much the same. You just make a folder and then you choose that folder. So if you look up to the top left, you'll see I have a folder open called HTML website tutorial. Now you can either click here on start, new file, or you can go up to the left and click on new file up here. But just either way, just click new file, make a new file, and you'll call this index.html. Remember, when typing index, you need to type it with a little I. So now that you're in, so now that you've opened and made a file called index.html, you'll get something like this. Up here on the top, you can see a few like different windows, tabs you can open. I'll just close this Get Started tab because I don't need it. And so now I only have my index.html tab. So in this index.html tab, you're gonna wanna type exclamation mark and just press enter. This will make a little preset for you. It'll load a preset. This is something every HTML file needs. And in here, this is where you'll like add your images and add your text and whatever else you would want. So I'm just gonna explain what these different types of tags and stuff do real quick, and I'll explain what a tag is. So basically, as you can see, there's a few of these tags. This is called a tag. You see I have this tag called doctype, and we have a tag called HTML, and a tag called head and body, and so forth. These tags, these kind of tell your computer what to do with the information you put in them. For example, if I just type text in here, whatever, and I open my website, which you can do by right-clicking right-clicking the workspace and then going down here to open with live server. You can see there's some added text here because I've added some text inside of the body tag. But HTML, the website doesn't really know what to do with it, so it just becomes plain text. But if I was to add like a tag, let's say something called a H1 tag, which stands for header 1. I'll do this by doing lesser than H1 and then greater than, and then typing let's say hello, and I'll open my website now. You'll see I've told the computer it's something called a header, and it'll format the text to be bold and larger. So that's what the tags really do. They kind of give a bit of information to your computer what to do with this text that I'm adding. Another thing that's important with tags is that you always close the tags. Every tag has an opening, as you can see here, and it also closes. You can differentiate the different tags by looking at if it has like one of these in it. If it has a slash in it, it's an ending tag. If it doesn't, it's an opening tag. So let's make our website. The first thing I would want to add to my website would be a header, of course. I've already made a header called hello, but I'd like to change this to something like welcome to my website. So now, if I open my website, you can do this by right-clicking and open with live server. You'll see it says welcome to my website. But we would also want an image on our website. I would like an image at least. So I'm just gonna go find a cool image to add to my website. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to find this HTML website tutorial file. I'm gonna search for it, see if it comes up. It does. And you're gonna want to open that. And inside here, I'll right click, new folder, and I'll call it image. And then inside here, I'm gonna add an image. I already have an image saved in another folder, so I'm just gonna drag and drop this in here. You'll find this folder inside in my description. I'll have a link to a Dropbox with a few things you might need. So now that I've added my image, I'll just close this, and I'll open my Visual Studio Code again. And I'll add an image using code. So this is how you add an image. First thing you would want to do is make an image tag. So I'm just type image and then press enter, and it'll auto-complete the tag for me. Here you can see it says image, and that states that it's an image tag, and it'll give me and it'll ask for the source of the image, and it'll ask for something called alt text. This is for people who have slow internet, which can't load the image. So let's say I have an image of a dog. I could type image of a dog. So this text will show up where the image is supposed to be, in a small gray box. But we won't be using this. We'll rather just be using the source here. So inside these quotation marks, just type slash, and it'll kind of find a folder inside your workspace. You can see it'll find image, and then it'll find the image inside of the folder called cooldog.jpg, and I'll just click there. And now the location of my image is added inside here. So when I open my website, there's an image of a dog. But as I showed you in my the first website I showed you, I would like to have a link under the image, which links to our video of our cool dog. So I'll press enter, just a new line, and I'll start the tag by typing P, and then just press enter, and it'll auto-complete the tags for you. You could also type them manually if you'd like. That it would just be lesser than P, greater than, and it'll auto-complete too. So inside this P tag, I'd like to add some text. P stands for paragraph. It's a paragraph tag. And inside this tag, I'd like to have some text. Let's say, look at this cool video. So now we've added a paragraph. It says, look at this cool video. Down here, but we would like a link. So what we'll do is actually delete this video part. Just remove this, and then type A. A stands for anchor. It's also known as a link. Just press enter. So here it'll auto-complete a little link. It states that it's an anchor, and then it asks for the URL of the link, and then inside these quotation marks you can type the YouTube video or the YouTube video or link to a blog or whatever, and then it ends the first tag. And then ends the entire tag, you see. So now we'll want to add the YouTube link in here. So we just go in here. I'll just open my little file here with the YouTube link. Just copy that, close, and I'll add the link inside these quotation marks. But we're not really done yet. I want this to be linked to a word. So you just click on a word, and it'll open the link. So I'll in between this link, this tag, and this tag, you can see here there's a space. I'll type video. So now when I open my website, just refresh it, it'll say, look at this cool video, and the video will be marked with as blue and as a link. So if I click on it, it'll open a YouTube video. One thing I would like is that instead of opening in this tab, it'll make a new tab, which will open it. So just type target equals quotation marks and then underscore blank. So now when I look at my website, just refresh it just in case. It'll say, welcome to my website, picture of a dog, look at this cool video. When I click the link, it'll open this video in a new tab, as you can see up here. This is the website, and this is the video. So now we'll want to, but the website, it's kind of ugly, as you can see. It's not really good looking. Everything is to the left. So we'll fix that, and I'll show you how. The thing you do is you go into your Visual Studio Code, and to the left here, just click on New File, and make a file called style.css. But what is CSS? Well, CSS stands for Cascading Styling Sheet, and it's meant to style your HTML file or your websites. Some people like to make a tag called style. Oh, sorry, style. Why isn't it style? And then add their style inside of here. But that's not really the proper way to do it. You usually just make another folder or another file called style.css. So just make that a habit of using style.css, another like file. So inside of style.css, we're gonna want to move the header. I don't like it being in to the left. I would like to have it in the middle of the site. So inside here, we're gonna type h1, because that's referencing the tag. This tag here called header1, and then squiggly brackets, and then press enter, so we get a space. And inside here, I'll type text dash align colon center and then semicolon. So now I've told the CSS and HTML file, I've told the website that the tag h1 should be aligned in the center. But if I reload my page, it doesn't work. Why is that? Well, that's because you haven't linked the CSS file to the index file. So how do you do that? You go into here, and you go into head, and you have to type inside the head page, which is like the settings for the HTML. Inside here, just type link, and it'll autocomplete after you press enter. and I'll make a link tag. And inside this href thing, inside these quotation marks, just type slash, and then go down to style.css. Or you can type it manually and just type style.css. So now if I go to my website, you'll see it's taken effect and my text is centered. So what do we want to do now? Well, this image, it's way too large and it's also off to the left. I would like this image to be smaller and I would like it in the middle. So what we're gonna do is go into style.css and I'll reference the image tag, add some squiggly brackets, and we'll start by reducing the height and length of the image. So just type height and do 500 pixels. It'll scale it down for you in the length, but you can also do length colon, let's say 1500 pixel just for fun, and then semicolon. Oh no, not length. I'm sorry. It's width. That'll stretch the image. But if you just use height, it'll scale it down in both axes for you. So 500 was a bit too big for my liking. I'd say like 400 maybe. Yeah, 400. That's a nice image size. So now that this image is small, I'd like to center it. And since this is an image, we'll want to type display block and then type margin auto. And this will put the image in the middle. But what does these do? Well, the display, this kind of like changes how you tell the website how to display an item. You can display them as something called a flexbox, for example, which are like flexible boxes that will resize themselves to fit the page and stuff. Don't worry about that too much. That's a bit more advanced. Just know that you have to type display block when on this particular image here. And the margin, that's like we're choosing the spacing in between the image and other stuff on the image, other tags and stuff. So we're kind of we've made a border around the image, as you can see if I go here. This yellow stuff here, or orange, or beige, or whatever, that's the border. No, the margin. I mean, that's the margin. And I've set the margin as automatic because that gives it equal amount of margin on both sides. So 400 on the left and 400 on the right, I think. No. 473 on the left. So it kind of pushes the image to be centered. There is also something called a border and the padding. That's not too important right now because we're not going to be using that. But it's all a part of something called the HTML like box model. That everything has a box around it. As you can see, even my little image and my little text here has a box around it. And so does this paragraph. I'm pretty... I like how the image is looking now. It's smaller. It's in the middle of the page. That's good. So now, let's move on to the link. But if you look inside the index.html page here, you can see that inside here we have the paragraph, and inside the paragraph there's the link tag, and then the paragraph ends. So you won't be having to style the paragraph and then the link. All you have to do is just reference the link. All you have to do is just reference the paragraph, I mean, not the link. So go into style.css, go down, type P for paragraph, squiggly brackets, enter, and just do the same as we did with the header, text dash align center. So now it's in the center. But I would like this text to be a bit bigger. So I'll do a font dash size, and I'll say 30 pixels. And this is our website right now. But yeah, so this is our website right now. It's looking good. The link works. It'll link to the video. I have my image. I have my header. But I would like some more color. I don't like the white color. So in here, I'll refer to something called the body. That's this part. That's like the main contents of the HTML website. And I'll type body, and then squiggly brackets, enter, and I'll type background. Background dash color colon brown, because it's a color called brown. This is kind of a default color. Now, and then I'll end it with a semicolon. And now the website is red for some reason. This is because like it's called brown, but it's red for me. I might be colorblind or something, but this is all red. So I don't really understand that. I might be colorblind, or it's just a weird setting. I don't know. But I've set the background color as a color called brown. I could also use something called RGB. I think you do that by typing RGB and then brackets, and then let's say 189, 172, 143, and it'll it'll mix red, green, and blue to make a color. As you can see, I've kind of made a beige gray color. I actually quite like this color. I'm gonna keep it. You could also use some other forms of color codes. You could use you can do hashtag, and then start typing stuff like 007. That's a form of blue, and then BFF, and it'll make this really bright blue. I actually had to close my eyes because it was really bright. But I'll just use this beige color for now. So this is our website now. You can see welcome to my website. It has an image and it has a link. I've chosen a background color. So I'll say my website is complete. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you liked it, please like the video, and I'll see you another time. Goodbye.